Hi everyone. Today we are making silicone molds of these geodes. Here's the other one. So that way we can then fill the molds with resin and make some beautiful coasters. So that's the goal. And I have this one too. I'm going to try and maybe do an impression of this one because it's got that lip on this outside. But before we get started, full disclosure, I am in my backyard because you're not supposed to do this indoors because of the fumes. So I'm in my backyard and I have chickens, so I apologize if there's any strange noises because there's quite a few of them back here. So let's get started. So first we're going to start with a bowl of water, and we're doing the, I don't know if there's a real name to this method, but I'm going to call it the dish soap method because it involves a lot of dish soap. And I'm just using Dawn dish soap, and I'm just going to put a lot of that in there. And you're going to notice I'm not wearing gloves because all the videos where the people use gloves, it doesn't end very well. The silicone gets stuck to the gloves for some reason. I don't know if it's because the gloves are made out of some form of silicone too, which that could be, and yeah. So I'm not going to be wearing gloves today. I'm going to be doing this with my bare hands, and I'm just going to cut the tip off this silicone, and hopefully this will actually cut through it. Come on, there we go. There it goes. And that went flying. Okay, now we've got the tip cut off, and on most caulking guns, there's, if I can even get this thing out, there's a little tip here that unfolds to poke a hole, because there's a seal. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a seal on the inside, and you gotta poke it. I'm just gonna put a few holes in that. Alright, that's probably good. And now I'm gonna bend this thing back in. Hopefully I can figure out how to use this. It shouldn't be too hard. Okay, there we go. And we're just gonna load this thing up. And before we do anything, we're going to stir up this soap water with our hands. That feels very slimy and disgusting. But this is the easiest way I saw, so we're going to go for it. I probably should have brought a towel out, but that's okay. And we're just going to squeeze this in. And it's going to look pretty gross, but alright, I think we're going to start with that, see what happens. Get my finger in this dish soap water and just scoop that off. Okay. And now we're going to set this to the side. And you have to, okay, well the one thing you have to, the one thing you have to use is 100% silicone, which I found at the Home Depot. Very easy. And we're just going to go in and knead this. And I'm telling you right now, this is very weird. I'm pretty young and I played with slime and all, but this is very kind of gross feeling. Very squishy and not the most pleasant feeling. And there's one of my chickens on the patio. Alright, and we're just going to knead this until it starts to firm up. And actually, I know I got a brand that said low odor, but there's really not an odor to this. I don't know, there could still be fumes that you're not supposed to breathe in. So it's a good idea to do this in a well-ventilated area. And so you can see it's, pretty stringy. Not very stretchy. And I just remember, you want to get it until you get a texture that's thicker than you started with, and I can feel it thickening up. So we're just going to keep mixing this in, and it's getting stuck to my pinky finger right there. Try and scrape that off. But I think it's getting stuck to my pinky finger because it got on that finger before it was covered with dish soap. Alright, starting to get thicker. And I'm getting this water all over the parchment paper. And I've just got quartz crystals holding it down because I also brought a crystal out if we have enough extra silicone to try and mold that too, because, you know, I just thought it would be cool. Alright, so this I think is about ready. Just submerge it again and mix it in. It's not super thick, it's kind of like putty. Like, that's the best way I would describe it. It's kind of like silly putty or something like that. Okay. And I kind of want to say that's it, but then again, I don't really know what I'm doing, so maybe we'll just need it for another minute. And so this is going to be for resin. The next step in this will be, after we're done making the mold, making resin coasters that resemble geodes. That's the goal. But I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I still have to actually buy the resin, but that should be ordered today. Thank goodness for Amazon, otherwise I don't know where I'd find the brand of resin that everyone has been recommending to me. Which that would be Art Resin. That's the brand that I've been recommended by many people, including Mike Hammer. He's a famous blob painter. I'm sure you've heard of him. And I've just seen a lot of people using it. Okay, this hasn't really thickened up any, so I'm gonna say this is good. And we're just gonna slide this off to the side, and we're gonna kind of, actually, let's start by making it into a ball. Let's see how this works. This is not the greatest ball. Okay, so we're just gonna plop that down and kind of spread it out, I guess. Try and make sure it's flat. And this is kind of just like a disc shape. And I'm just gonna pick up my geode here and see how much bigger. Actually, that's about the right size, so we're just gonna smush this in. And we're just gonna press the edges in. You don't want to lip on the edge, but you want to make sure it's attached so it gets all that detail of the geode. We're just gonna... This is almost like ceramics, I feel like. We're making pottery. Not. I wish. That's something else I hope to explore in the near future, is how to make pottery. I think that'd be really fun. Okay. And that looks pretty good. And so now, I guess we'll do another one. I might cut out the mixing of this next one since that took quite a while. But this is definitely not hard. Anyone can do this. And that's it. There we go. I guess I'll just dip my fingers in here. It doesn't get stuck to me. Wipe that off. Set this off to the side. And I believe it was... Ooh, this is like kind of cool, but then kind of weird at the same time. But the can of silicone that I got, I believe, was 10.1 fluid ounces, US fluid ounces, that is. And it looks like it's gonna make a decent amount of molds. So, and if this works, if I don't know why I like it. I like to do that. I like to repeat words like that sometimes. If, but. So. If it works, I'll be making more molds of the same geode, so that way I can make sets of 2 or 3 at a time with the resin, so that way I don't have to mix up colors separately and do it a whole bunch of times and waste more cups, because from what I have experienced with resin, you can't really save the cups once you've mixed resin in there. I mean, you can let it dry and peel out, but I don't know, maybe it's me. If you have any knowledge on how to get resin out of cups without ruining the cups, that would be great, because I'm going to be ordering resin soon, and I'm going to do the coasters, and I'll do some geodes, and this doesn't have resin in it, but I will be doing some blob paintings, once again inspired by Mike Hammer, which I don't want to be giving away his secrets here, but I asked him what kind of paint he used and what he mixed it with, and he said he doesn't mix the paint with any thickening medium, which I bought because I don't have the brand of paint which he recommended, which is Nova Color paint. And so I bought a paint thickener made by Golden. I bought a gloss thickener stuff, which I still have to get little needle tip squeeze bottles because I couldn't find wood panels super big. I could only find them in 9x12s at Aaron Brothers. My chickens are making weird noises. But yeah, so expect some blob art coming. That will definitely be here soon, because now I've got the medium. I just have to get the squeeze bottles, and then that will be coming up. Stay tuned for that. I'm really excited because I don't know what it is about that, but it draws my eye, and I just love to look at that stuff. So we're going to be trying that. Oh, and now I'm giving away my secrets. With the blob art, my sister, West Fox Inc., that's her Instagram name, and her Etsy name. Check her out, because she's got some amazing work. But, she, also thought of this idea where, because we've both done pop art before, with Prismacolor pens, and we were thinking, why can't you do that with blob art? So, that'll also be coming, so it won't just be abstract blobs. There's a jet flying over my house, I'm sorry. It'll be some blob art with purpose. It's not just going to be completely abstract. So let's see which one to do, what to do. How big does this? Okay, that I don't think we have enough silicone for. So, well, maybe if we smooth it out, flatten it out a little bit. And this shouldn't take very long to dry. I'm in a warmer climate area, Southern California, so it shouldn't take very long to dry. And even with the videos that I've watched where it's raining and stuff outside, it only took half an hour to dry. So let's see. That's pretty deep. I don't think I've got... yeah, I don't think that's going to work, and I don't know that this is going to peel up. Okay. So let's smush this back in a little bit, and let's try and resurface it so it's a little bit thicker. And this might be a problem if it's not coming off the wax or the parchment paper. I thought it wouldn't stick to that. Maybe I was supposed to use parchment paper. I don't know. Or not parchment paper, wax paper. I think I'm losing my mind over here. Okay. We're going to put this geode in. And we're not going to use this side because I don't want that gap in there. So we're just going to press this in. And that looks pretty good. And I'm just going to take down these edges a little bit. Just smush them down, because they don't need to be super big. Oh, the chickens hear the hawk. And here he comes. Is he gonna swoop down and eat my chickens? Nope, not today. That would be sad. Chickens caught on film being eaten by a hawk. That'd be horrible. Oh my gosh. I'd get ratted out on that one for sure. Okay. That looks pretty good. And I think we're just going to use what's left in this tube of silicone, which I don't know how much is actually left. And we're going to do the, well, it depends on how much we have. If we have a lot, we'll do that. Oh, that's about it. That's all we're going to get. Okay. Dip my fingers in here. I think I want to do the crystal. I think that's a cool one to do. And then we can see how much detail this actually captures. Oh dear, it's sticking to my fingers. Okay, there we go. Make sure you get your hands in this dishwater before you touch the silicone, because it's not going to stick to your hands if you have it in the silicone before you touch it. I don't know if that sentence made any sense. I don't think it came out right. And I don't even remember what I said. Okay. Hopefully this video is not going to be too long, because I don't want to bore you guys to death with the mixing of the silicone. So this might get cut out, I'm not sure. I still have to learn how to edit the videos a little better, learn how to do all that stuff a little bit better. And actually the logo, who's been designed by my dad on the computer, I designed it on paper, he put it onto the computer. Thank you for that. So we should have, well, okay, I don't want to like be promising things before I actually have money to do them, but let's say that you could expect some t-shirts and or coffee mugs coming in the near future with my logo on it, and some beautiful pictures of cells printed on them. So if you'd like to see stuff like that, if you'd be interested in buying it, make sure to let me know, because in my mind I don't think I have really diehard fans that would purchase t-shirts of mine, but who knows, maybe I have some diehard fans out there. Okay, this feels pretty good, and I'm thinking I'm gonna try another method too, which involves cornstarch and mixing the silicone with cornstarch instead of in soapy water. So I might try that and make a video on it. I'm not sure yet. And I'm just going to slide this a little bit out of the way. And we're going to just push that down a little bit. We want to have this one thick enough for this quartz crystal, which is absolutely stunning. That I found this at an estate sale while I was buying rocks for the geode. Okay, I'm actually going to encase this one a little bit, because I want to capture some of this detail, so we can just have like one open port for this. Oh wait, hold on, that's not going to work. I'm going to get the crystal out of there. Okay, we're going to open this back up a little bit. There we go. Open the back up so we can get it out. But I want to capture a lot of this detail, a lot of the faces on this crystal. So we're going to try and get this silicone on there, just like that. And the cool thing about this is that silicone did not stick to this at all. I mean, you can peel that off right now if you wanted to. Okay, so let's do that. Smush that on there a little bit. Okay. Looks pretty good, and we'll just smooth out the edges, because why not? Make a little bit of a nicer looking mold. And okay. And I think that's it. We'll be back when these are dry, which shouldn't be too long from now. And we'll see you then. Hi everybody, we're back. These are now dry, hopefully. I'm not really sure how to tell when they're dry. but I'm gonna try and, oh, okay. This is releasing very easily, as you can tell. I was trying to get it off the bottom so I could get it up close for you guys. But that came out pretty well, I think. Let me stick my fingers back underneath this mold and get it off the paper. And I'll bring the mold up close for you. But that came out very easily. Here we go, let me make sure this is, okay, there we go. You can see the edges are textured with that kind of rough pattern of the outside of the geode. And you can actually see where it pulled off some of the dye from that geode. Got some flat spots, and it looks like there's not a lot of air bubbles, which is a good thing. Not a lot of air bubbles down here. Looks very smooth, very good. Alright, let's move on to the next one. And I'm going to try and pull this one out gently. There we go. Because I want to get this up close for you guys pulling this one out. I think this might be kind of satisfying to watch. Okay, kind of peel away the edges. Oh, am I even in? No, I'm not even in view. There we go. Here's the crystal, no damage. And from what I can see, it looks like this got all the detail. And there's a little bit of water in there, which I think is just from the water that we were putting the silicone in. I'm just going to feel in here, see if I can feel the faces of the crystal. Yeah, feels very smooth, there's a little bit of a bubble right there, but other than that, it looks great. And I think it should be just fine to cast in, and I'll make a video on that when I have enough resin to do that, because right now I have the resin that I used for the bezels, but that's not very much, so I don't know if that'd be enough to do one of these, but I'll make a video on that for sure. And we'll pull this one out. Do it very slowly so we don't rip it. Came out very easily. Once again, you can see the textured sides. Well, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I can definitely see it. The sides are textured very well, and I'll have to wash that out because apparently there was some dirt on the geode. But looks great. No bubbles down there. All the bubbles are underneath, which is good. That means the surface is flat. And I think that's about it. And that's how we are doing these molds. This was my first experience with it. And I will be trying other ways on how to mold, do silicone molds that is, and we'll see which way works better. And I'll do that as soon as I get cornstarch. And stay tuned for when I cast these babies, because I think that's going to turn out really cool, especially if this got all the faces in it. I think that'll turn out really cool because it'll look pretty much identical to it. And yeah, stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Find my Etsy in the description below if you want to purchase some of my art, and maybe I'll have coasters up by the time you find this video, who knows. And find me on Instagram at BeyondAcrylicArt. And that's it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.